A millionaire farmer fell in love with a black waitress at a diner. Once upon a time, in a small town called Maple Grove, there lived a man named Thomas Reed. He was a very rich farmer who owned hundreds of acres of farmland. His family had been farmers for generations, and he had worked hard to grow his business into something big. Thomas was known all over the county as the millionaire farmer. He wore boots, jeans, and cowboy hats every day. People respected him because he was kind and always helped those in need. But even though he had everything money could buy, Thomas felt lonely. He didn't have a wife or kids, and sometimes the big farmhouse felt too quiet. Every morning, Thomas would drive to a little diner called Sonny's Cafe. It was run by a woman named Sonny Johnson, a warm and cheerful lady in her 50s. The cafe was cozy, with checkered tablecloths, soft music, and the smell of fresh coffee and pancakes. At the diner, Thomas always sat in the same booth and ordered the same thing: scrambled eggs, bacon, toast, and black coffee. And every morning the same waitress brought him his food, a young woman named Maya. Maya was in her late 20s. She had deep brown eyes, a bright smile, and hair that curled softly around her face. She was smart, funny, and full of life. Everyone loved Maya. Customers, other waitresses, even the cook in the back. She treated everyone like family. Thomas had noticed Maya from the first day she started working at the cafe. But at first, they only exchanged polite greetings. One day, though, something changed. Thomas spilled his coffee on his shirt and let out a frustrated sigh. Maya came over with napkins and said, "Looks like you could use a friend instead of another cup." He looked up at her and smiled. "You might be right." They started talking just for a few minutes each morning. They talked about books, weather, and sometimes even their dreams. Maya told him she wanted to open her own bakery one day. Thomas thought that was amazing. As weeks passed, Thomas began looking forward to seeing Maya more than the food. Her laughter made his mornings brighter. He realized he was falling in love, but there was something holding him back: fear. Thomas grew up in a time when some people still believed that love between different races wasn't right. Though he didn't agree with that, he worried what others might say. He was a white millionaire, and Maya was a black waitress. He knew not everyone would understand. Still, the more he got to know Maya, the more he realized how silly those fears were. Maya didn't care about his money. She cared about the way he listened when she spoke, and how he always held the door for people. One rainy afternoon, Thomas went to the cafe but didn't see Maya. Sonny told him Maya was homesick. Without thinking twice, Thomas bought soup, orange juice, and a bouquet of sunflowers, her favorite, and drove to her apartment. When Maya opened the door, she was surprised to see him. "Mr. Reed, what are you doing here?" "I came to check on you," he said, "and I brought sunshine." She laughed and invited him in. They spent the afternoon together, watching movies, sipping soup, and talking. That was the moment both of them realized their feelings were real. From then on, Thomas and Maya became inseparable. They went for walks through the fields, shared secrets under starry skies, and dreamed about the future. Maya even inspired Thomas to start helping more people in the community, building a new community center and offering jobs to young people who needed a chance. But not everyone was happy. Some townspeople whispered behind their backs. Some even stopped coming to the cafe. Thomas heard the rumors, but he never said a word against anyone. He simply kept being kind. Maya faced some harsh words too, but she stayed strong. "Love isn't about what others think," she told Thomas one night. "It's about choosing each other every day." Eventually, the town began to change. Younger folks saw the love between Thomas and Maya and admired it. Even some older folks softened when they saw how much joy they brought each other. A year later, Thomas did something no one expected. He gave most of his farmland to a group of young farmers, including Maya's cousin, so they could build a sustainable farm together. He kept a small part for himself and built a new house next to it, one with a big kitchen where Maya could bake her famous cinnamon rolls. On a beautiful spring day, Thomas and Maya got married at the edge of the field, surrounded by friends, family, and even some of the people who once doubted them. The wedding was simple, joyful, and filled with laughter. As they danced under strings of lights, Thomas whispered in Maya's ear, "Thank you for showing me what love really means." And from that day on they lived happily ever after, proving that love is stronger than fear and that kindness can change hearts.